Today is one of the more important days of the 2026 election cycle. It's a primary day for 6 states: California, Iowa, Montana, New Jersey, New Mexico, and South Dakota. And in 3 of those states, California, Iowa, and South Dakota, we see extremely important gubernatorial primaries. And it's going to go a long way in terms of the results today as to who will be the governor of those 3 states. In California, we have the jungle primary, and that's where every candidate running is on the same ballot. And there are 60. There are 60 people on the ballot in California today, and 2 of those, and only 2, will advance into the general election. And it doesn't matter what political party they're in, and it doesn't matter what percentage they receive, because there will be 2 advancing into the general election. And of those 60, it's really coming down now to 3 candidates. Originally, it looked like the Republicans in this bluest of blue states could qualify 2 people into the general election because the Democratic vote was split among so many different credible candidates. The field has winnowed now. And so, where it looked like Steve Hilton, the former Fox News host, and the Riverside County Sheriff Chad Bianco might be able to place 1-2, that's not happening now because Bianco has dropped well back into the pack. Hilton has been in first place in some of these polls, but recently we see that even being a question. And it's very much up in the air among 3 candidates. Hilton is one. The other 2, Xavier Becerra. He's the former Health and Human Services Secretary for President Biden. Before that, he was California Attorney General, and prior to that, spent 22 years in the U.S. House. So he has a very good chance, Xavier Becerra, to advance into the general election, along with another Democrat, the billionaire, Tom Steyer, who ran for president and now has spent upwards of $200 million to try to become governor of California. So we are seeing very likely 2 of those 3 advance into the general election. We'll see if the Republicans can even qualify 1. It's going to be razor thin. And the other thing is, it's probably going to take us a long time to see who actually gets that second or slot or even first, because this should be a very tight election. And California takes weeks to count these ballots. They allow all of these ballots to come in after the election, and then they count them. The Secretary of State has 36 days to count the ballots and to certify the election. So it should be quite a while before we know exactly what happens there. In Iowa, for a long time on the Republican side, it appeared that Congressman Randy Feenstra would sweep to the GOP nomination. And that is in question as we head into the voting today. There was a late poll coming out from JNL Analytics, a very credible pollster, who found that the investment executive, Zach Land, actually is pulled ahead of Feenstra in this primary election. Now, this could be an outlier, but we'll find out tonight what happens. But there is a chance we'll or potentially could see an upset there in the Republican primary for governor. It's an open race. Governor Kim Reynolds has chosen not to run for a third full term. And the Democrats have an unopposed candidate, State Auditor Rob Sand, who is the lone Democratic statewide official in Iowa, and he has an easy walk into being the Democratic nominee tonight. So this is going to be a very hotly contested general election, but it's even a hotly contested Republican primary, a bit surprisingly so here in the closing days, but we'll see if that holds up and what happens tonight. South Dakota is another very interesting situation where you have the governor of the state, Larry Roden. He became governor because he was lieutenant governor and ascended to the position when Kristi Noem resigned the governorship to join the Trump administration. So we have Roden then running for a term in his own right. Congressman, the at-large congressman in South Dakota, Dusty Johnson, he is in this race, as are 2 other candidates, Toby Doden, a businessman, and the Speaker of the State House, John Hanson. all four of those are running credible campaigns, and this is very tight. And there is a chance that the Republican race, which is really the key race here, because whoever is the eventual Republican nominee is going to win the general election. And what happens is you'll see potentially nobody getting to 35%. And if that happens, then there's a runoff between the top two candidates on June the 28th. So there is a lot at stake there in that South Dakota gubernatorial race. The open congressional seat is virtually decided. The Attorney General, the multi-term Attorney General Marty Jackley, is virtually unopposed in the open at-large U.S. House seat. So it's very likely he's assured of being the Republican nominee tonight, and that virtually guarantees that he will be the next congressman from South Dakota. So these election results will be very interesting across the board. Obviously, the governor's races there. We have other races, particularly for the House in all 6 of these states, that will be worth paying attention to for the rest of this week.